Am I live? I think so. Hello. I just had the craziest thing happen to me, and now I'm all distracted. Um, Hello, how are you? Happy full moon in Leo. Is that enough light? Okay. Um, I was just. Why is the sound on here? What's happening? Oh, it was on the phone. Okay. Whoops, sorry. So I was just like running and grabbing something to drink and going to the bathroom before I got on live, and there was this lizard on the toilet paper roll. It scared the shit out of me. Oh my god! And now I have to calm down. I took a picture of it. I don't know if you can see it. Oops. That's not going to show up, is it? Look at him. I don't know who scared who more, me or him. Wow. So yeah, I was feeling like really tired earlier and was worried about coming on and not having enough energy. But now I'm like wide awake, and I also had an extra cup of coffee. So yay, happy Leo full moon. Please say hello if you're here. I would love to see if anybody's actually listening. I've got cards here. If anybody's interested, I can pull a card for somebody, like a full moon card. This is the Oracle of the Hidden. Oh gosh, this is gonna be hard. What if I add this light? I one day I'll figure out the lighting situation. No, well, it's the Oracle of the Hidden Worlds deck by Lucy Cavendish, and she wrote the book Lost Lands, about Atlantis and Lemuria and Avalon. It's a really good book, but the deck is really, really pretty too. Because I had posted in the Just a Phase Planner Facebook group that I would pull cards for people, and then for some reason it wasn't notifying me that people were responding, so I didn't get to everybody until this morning. And so I'm happy to do it now. If you're watching later and you're not here live, I would be happy to do that too. If you comment, I'll pull a card, and hopefully I'll see those notifications and be able to get back to you. So just to check in to see how you're feeling and talk about the mood trackers, because I'm totally redesigning how they're going to go in the second half of the planner, the Just a Phase planner. And if you know of anyone that's interested, if you're liking the planner and wanting to share, the planner's on sale now. I'll put links to everything in the comments after we're done going live. But yeah, I just want to get it into as many hands as possible and get enough feedback before I have to print the second half, so that it's, better and more. I want to give you what you like, and like, this is an awesome opportunity to just like be able to create and design whatever you want to see or whatever you want to learn about, without having to do the work, because it's a lot of work. So any feedback is appreciated. But if you are in the group and were able to print out, oops, mine fell apart, your little moon phase wheel here, because now that we've been tracking the moon, man, I have a lot of stuff to hold up today, so it's really unfortunate that you can't see. If you have your little moon or moon phase wheel here, print that out, or if not, just kind of like see how to use it. And then you can print it out later and see how I'm just a visual person, and it helps me to really like go from like a linear structure of tracking and then seeing it in that cyclical pattern, and it helps my brain figure it out too. That way I'm able to like visualize the cycle in the circle versus like we're so programmed to have like linear thinking. So I'll just share if anybody is here and wants to comment how they are feeling today, or if they've noticed any patterns with their mood and the moon, or compared to the moon. Please feel free to mention in the comments your experience. And I have basically had every experience of every moon phase, I'm pretty sure, in my life, and I've kind of, that's what made me start tracking the moon, because I noticed that there was a pattern there and wanted to like figure it out. But my personal cycle changes, like it's never consistent. It's never been consistent like my entire post-pubescent life. And oh, FYI, there's going to be a lot of TMI in this video. So if you're not interested in talking about menstrual cycles and the moon cycle, this video is not for you. But yeah, even as like a teenager, without going too much into that, like it's just never been consistent, and doctors have always tried to push me on birth control and like, oh, birth control is going to fix everything, and I just never really believed in that, or I wanted to figure out like what was causing the problem rather than just like putting a band-aid on it. And not that I have anything against people on birth control, and not that I have anything against birth control in general. I just knew that it wasn't for me. And if anything, it led me here today. So yeah, I've just been tracking for as long as I can remember and changing different things. And oh, I think the wind just blew my door open. Hold on. Okay. Athena. Oh my gosh, sorry about that. The wind just blew my front door open. What this is turning out to be a very crazy day. So I had to go and count and make sure we've got 1, 2, 3 cats, because they love to run out like if the door is open. What was I talking about? Yeah, so I've been tracking for as long as I can remember, and through that tracking, I've learned different things to change and try, with diet, with exercise, stretching, just all sorts of different things that have made my cycles easier and better. But then I also, without having to go on birth control, but then I've also have noticed that there's a connection to the moon. And I mean, it makes sense. Like, more than half of our bodies are made up of water, and the moon affects water. So, I mean, it just makes sense. And I love reading all of the questionnaire for the, for joining the Facebook group, because there's some questions about the moon on there. And I can't remember what the question is, but it's like, I think it's like, how do you feel about the moon or something, or how much do you love the moon? And everybody's responses are so awesome. Everybody loves the moon. Everybody is just like, I mean, how much poetry and music and literature and emotion is inspired by the moon? And I mean, why not track it? Why not see how it affects your life? So obviously, I have a passion for it, and I hope that you do too, and that you're enjoying being on this journey. And I really appreciate your support. Um, so yeah, I'm definitely changing up the structure of the trackers because um, I'll try to show you mine. It's like all over the place, crazy. Um, so I'd like to have it. I'm trying a few different things to make it like that's really hot, to make it just more so you can like at a glance kind of um, pick up things so that you're not like trying to read like your scribble scrabble, or maybe yours looks nicer than mine does, but it's like all over the place. Um, Honestly, the only thing I can really tell just at a glance from looking at mine is what my cycle days are, because I just like circle them like 1, 2, 3, 4. Um, so I just want to make it structure it differently so that you can see at a glance, like if you're in a hurry and you don't have time to actually like sit down and like think about it. Um, Further down in the year, there's going to be, I think 2 or 3 times it's like a little check-in so that you can kind of tally and like put in one spot. Yeah, here it is. At the end of April, there's like just a little check-in page where you can tally based on the 4 elements. Like I've noticed that I feel like this when the moon is in an earth sign, or I feel like this when the moon is in an air sign, fire sign, water sign. Just so that you can kind of see if there's a pattern after you've been tracking for a couple months. So that would make it what, like 4 or 5? No, 3 months, and then there's one at the very end. And if you got the first printing, the last page is actually on the back cover, and that was totally my fault. The printers pointed that out, and I was like, what do you mean? I put a blank page, but the blank page is the back, not the whatever. I'm learning my lessons. I'm learning a lot about printing and design. So that gives you a space to do that at the end of April, but I thought that this wheel would kind of help you see like where you are, and also to take some of the pressure off about like if you are not menstruating on the new moon and you're menstruating at a different time, and trying to figure out okay, so we're supposed to be planning and kind of like going within during the dark moon phase and the new moon. When you're starting to take action is going to be the following week when the moon is waxing. So if you have your menstrual cycle around this time, you might be feeling pressured, like, oh, it's almost the first quarter. I haven't even started doing anything. I haven't like made any plans. And that's okay. Like the whole point of this is to see where you are and how your body fits into the moon cycle. So, I mean, just starting there right now, as of right now, I am menstruating during the waxing crescent phase. So that kind of like cancels out the whole waxing, brightening, building part of the moon phase for me. So I'm not going to put pressure on myself to be trying to be productive and do all of these things. However, once I'm finished with my cycle in the first quarter, that's when I have energy. That's when I get everything done. That's when I do all my planning. Um, but honestly, I've had everything in between. So that's why I made it so that you're able to like move the wheel and look at it. And as I don't know, I mean, I'm sure everybody is different. Um, so like don't feel pressure. Like don't force yourself to do things when you don't have the energy to do it just because, oh, it's a waxing moon. I need to be productive right now. Your cycle might be the opposite. So it's just kind of like figuring out where you fit um, into this cycle. And if you're like me, it's changing all the time. Like in August, was that August? Yeah, August, I went from menstruating on the new moon to like I had a crazy weird ass 2 period month and I ended up menstruating on the full moon as well, which is only 2 weeks apart. So the energy there is totally different. And I just want to share my experience with that. When I was menstruating on the new moon, I was like, oh yeah, I'm in sync with the moon. And I'm like in the dark phase when the moon's in the dark phase. And I just felt like so connected. And I felt like that was when I was able to like take pressure off myself and let myself rest, let myself relax, let myself like hibernate and recuperate. And like it made me feel better. But I'm here to tell you from experience, don't put that pressure on yourself to be like, oh, I have to be synced up with the moon. Because it doesn't work that way. And there's so many other different interferences with our bodies and our natural cycle, our sleep cycle, our like the like everything, like the circadian rhythms, everything is screwed up because we have so much interference. For all different reasons, and I'm not going to go into that because that's a whole nother can of worms. Um, but just don't put pressure on yourself. This is all about like observing and figuring out what works for you and what doesn't work for you. So on the flip side of that, menstruating on the full moon is so totally different. It's like the full moon is bright at 100%, and it's you're supposed to be social and celebrating and congratulating yourself on everything you've accomplished in the last 2 weeks or everything in the last 2 months or everything from last year. And you're being grateful, you're expressing gratitude. But if you're menstruating during the full moon, you probably don't have that energy. I mean, there's might be like a few times here and there where you're really feeling like I don't know. I'm not I just want to hibernate in a little cave and I don't want to see people. So like when I was menstruating on the full moon, it made me feel like really off and really just not like I would try to force myself to be sociable back when we could be sociable, and I'd be like, "Oh, you have to go out and do this, or you have to be uh, like doing like getting all these things done before the new moon, so that you can like rest and all that." But I mean, don't put that pressure on yourself. Do not put your pressure on yourself. It's maybe the reason that I've experienced all of these different cycles is so that I can explain it to you and relate to you. And I'm really interested if you have to hear what your experience has been with just the moon phases in general. And then on top of that, we also have the signs. And I tried to structure the planners so that I'm not dumping all of this astrology onto you at one time, because I do not consider myself an expert at astrology whatsoever, and I've been studying it for like my entire life. I'm learning something new every day about it. But what made me really focus on the moon signs is I would be having bad days and be like, why am I feeling like this? Why am I sad? Why am I depressed? There's nothing in my life that is making me feel like this. And one of the reasons was learning about how to deal with being an empath. But the other thing was different signs were affecting me, and it was just like I would look at the moon phase, and it would always be when the moon was in a water sign is when I was feeling really down and depressed for no apparent reason. I mean, of course, there's always going to be stress in your day to day life, but this was just like, okay, if I take this work stress out of the equation, or like at the like coming home at the end of the day and being like, oh well, I thought I was having a bad day because I was having a bad day at work, but then being at home and still feeling like that stress and negativity, it was like, why am I feeling like this? And a lot of times water signs are making us feel emotional, and it was Scorpio uh, in particular, especially last year was when it was really bad, when I just like couldn't even get out of bed some days when the moon was in Scorpio. um, but that's because Scorpio likes to dig and up and unearth all of your crap and put it right in front of you. It's like, hey, I'm still here. And so you, and a lot of 2020 for everybody as a collective was about unearthing all of this stuff you don't want to look at and putting it out in the open so that you can deal with it, heal it, and let it go and move on and grow and change and heal from that. So as a collective, dealing with our social, economic, everything, all the different structures on a global level was being unearthed like all through 2020. And so I was really feeling that on the collective level, but also on a personal level, because a lot of personal things were being unearthed, as well as everybody else was having all of their things unearthed and put out in the open and shedding light on it. Um, Eclipse energy is also going to do that. It's going to shine light on things that you like to remain hidden. And um, yeah, so I'm just kind of curious if anybody would like to comment about how, if there's a particular sign that you've noticed, like, wow, every day I, or every time the moon is in this sign, I feel different. But then at the same time, oh, hello, who's here? This old lady has to put her glasses on. Hey, Autumn Star. Hi, thanks for coming. So I've already kind of talked about the moon cycles, or the moon phases, and now I'm kind of trying to get into the signs, if there are any signs in particular that you noticed a pattern since tracking the moon cycle and moon phases. Personally, for me, when the moon is in a water sign, like we were just in Cancer yesterday, everything was feeling like really heavy. And Cancer is all about nurturing and loving on an emotional level. So sometimes when the moon is in Cancer, I can feel that energy and I really like embrace it and take care of myself, mother myself, like make sure I have a nice hot meal, make sure I go to bed on time, and just all of that like mothering energy sort of stuff. But it also is still going to bring up emotions. And I don't know about you, but this week has been a really heavy week for me. And it's because the moon was in Cancer, I think. Because you can kind of feel how it's shifted a little bit today, moving into Leo, which is a more creative, outgoing energy. Not that Cancer energy is bad. I just noticed that it brings up emotions. What were we earlier this week? Oh, so we've just been in Cancer. Oh, from Gemini. Yeah, I usually feel good when the moon is in Gemini. Okay, so yeah, Amber, that's exactly how I started tracking because I was just like, why am I depressed and anxious or stressed or whatever? Like when you're like really trying to figure it out and taking like work or family stress like out of the equation, it was like, why am I still feeling like why is it when I get home, I've had dinner, I'm in bed, I'm laying in bed, like why am I still feeling this anxiety? And I would just like check on my phone, like what phase the moon is in. It was always a water sign. It was always almost a Scorpio, but sometimes Cancer and Pisces too. And I was just like, what? So every time the moon is in Scorpio, I'm going to be in a bad mood or I'm going to be depressed. And then it just taught me to like start paying attention and tracking it and figuring out why is this coming up for me? What are the emotions and where are they coming from? And it's helped me move past it um, and have that not happen again, or at least prepare for it. So I'm like, okay, the moon's in Scorpio. I need to make sure I've got like all the things that make me feel happy and comfortable and warm and cozy, so that I don't like go over the edge. And that's really cool that you can feel the shift in today's energy. It's not as Leo-y as it usually feels for me. Usually when the moon is in Leo, I have a Leo sun sign. So usually I'm like ready to party. And especially on a full moon, I'm usually like ready to go. But today I've just been dragging. But it's kind of been like it's sunny now, but it was snowing today. I don't know where you live, but we never get snow in North Carolina. And so it was like, whoa, it's so magical, but it was still kind of cloudy and gloomy. So you're like, oh, please snow some more. Um, if you're in a place that snows a lot, I'm sorry, but I've had that experience too. And I still like I used to live in Maine and I still loved it every time it snowed. Yeah, it was like a lot of extra work, but I still loved it. Probably because I've mostly lived in the South my whole life, but um, yeah, it was really exciting. But maybe that's why, because it was kind of cloudy and snowy. Um, but yeah, I'm really looking forward for just being creative and crafty. I like to color or do work on craft projects or sewing um, or being social when the moon is in Leo. Oh, you're feeling a comment. What is your sun and moon sign? Um so usually with fire signs I feel like more energetic. With Leo specifically, it's more like creative energy. But then with Aries makes me feel like I had like 20 cups of coffee and I'm like ready to go. And what's the other one? Oh, Sagittarius just makes me feel like motivated. Oh, congratulations. That's so exciting. Yeah, so you're probably in hibernation mode all the time, especially in the winter. Congratulations, though. That's so awesome. So your baby would be an Aquarius or um, what are we moving into? Aries or Pisces, depending on when your due date is. That's exciting. See, I love Aquarius too because I have an Aquarius moon. And I've just recently, like in my adult life, have been like really tuning into the Aquarius side. Because I have a Leo sun and Aquarius moon, which are total opposite signs. So I kind of like have a lot of internal conflict with myself. And recently, especially during quarantine, I've noticed that my moon sign in Aquarius has been coming out more. I guess like I'm because your sun sign is like who you are on the outside and your moon sign is like who you are on the inside. So like being stuck at home with no people around, I've kind of really like gotten into that. Whoa, I totally am an Aquarius, and I've never really related to it that much. So it's just kind of interesting how different parts of your chart kind of um, get amplified, or how they just like weave into your life. It's so interesting. Um, oh, cool. Is that because it's going to be Pisces because of the due date, or do you have like a fling? Um, oh, see, Gemini. Okay, Gemini Sun and Scorpio Moon. So do you, or have you noticed if you like when the moon is in Scorpio, or Gemini for that matter too? Because I notice when the moon is in my sun or moon or rising sign, that I'm usually doing pretty well. Like it's when it's in a sign that's not in my chart is when I'm like I've noticed like anxiety or stress or something like that. Oh, okay, wow. So that's like right on the cusp, February 21st. Um, that's exciting. And that's going to be on the spring equinox too. You're going to have a magical Ostara baby. That's so cool. Um, so my north node is in Gemini, and your north node is um, kind of like your north star, like what you should be aiming at in your life, and it's usually something that kind of makes you uncomfortable. So it's exactly why I'm trying to get more into doing these videos, is because my north node is in Gemini, and that's all about communication and duality and expression. So that's why I'm pushing myself out of my comfort zone to do these videos. Um, and I notice in Gemini, I feel more productive and more um, motivated, and like um, so I think that maybe because it's like Gemini is my north node, it's what I'm supposed to be aiming for. That when the moon is in Gemini, I'm feeling like ready to go. Like I can see, I've got like my direction of where I want to go. But maybe that's just me, and that's really like the whole idea behind this moon tracking, is to like, am I the only one that's feeling like these different energies? And I love hearing about other people um, comparing how they feel during different moon phases and how it compares to their chart. Um, oh, cool. Yeah. So, Hound Dog Hollow, her and I have almost the same exact birthday and birth time, but a different year. We're 1 year apart. And like even the time is the same, which is so crazy. She was born at 9:07 and I was born at 8:07. So yeah, it's so crazy that we found each other through YouTube. Um, but that's cool. I'm glad she referred you or me to you. Um, I'd really like to start having conversations with her and maybe collaborating and doing videos, just comparing like what our lives have been like for like, because we have almost an identical chart. From I mean, I haven't looked at her chart, but if it's that same day and almost same time, just a different year, they should be pretty similar. And I already know we have the same sun, moon, and rising sign, so it would be interesting to like compare our lives together and see like how different they are. Um, yeah, I don't know. If not a video, it'd be, I want to have that conversation anyways. Yeah, it's so crazy. Spirit twins. Yeah. So So if you found me through her, then you don't have your planner, right? Um, so I was gonna say, I gave out these little wheels to like compare your moon phase to your moon sign, or your personal like cycle to the moon cycle. But I don't know how I could figure out how to get that to you. But I really appreciate you watching. Um, I'm trying to get like more information and more feedback before I print the next one, because I kind of just don't like how the tracker is looking like right now. I want it to be like more visually pleasing, but well, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. Hey, let me pull an oracle card for you. This is called the Oracle of Hidden Worlds. It's about like the author wrote a book about Atlantis and Lemuria and Avalon, like the ancient civilizations. It's a really pretty deck, and I pull cards for our Facebook group once a week, or I try to anyways. And for some reason, I didn't get the notifications that people were requesting, yeah, I want a card. So I brought them with me live today just to pull extra, because I was still able to get to them and pull a card, but yeah, I just, in case anybody missed it. Yeah, this deck is really, really pretty. So let's see, Amber. Oh my gosh, you're not gonna believe this. Hopefully I can, this is crazy. I have a very bad lighting situation, but this is the Mother Awakens card. Mama to be. Compassion, nurture, and guidance. Where's the book? Oh, here it is. That's so crazy. Number 3. So I'll hold it up so you can see it while I read. You are being given the opportunity to feel the pure love and compassion of the mother through the connection to her heart through the rainbow. The rainbow energy is profound. It speaks of hope and healing through each of the energetic centers within the body. The 7 rays of light. We all need to become our best selves, and the sense that you are being chosen by Mother at this time to awaken to her and to your own capacity to open the door that lies between the worlds. You are walking this rainbow path and can be called home to the Mother. This can sometimes reveal the path to the other life and return to the Mother in that sense. But this is truly more often a return to the memories of a time when the Mother sends out her healing heart light in the form of rainbows to all who need her and support and guidance. You are returning to her, and while the Father is present, he is less activated for you in this moment. Be in her presence and know it makes no difference to her who you are or what judgments have been laid at your feet or the way in which your culture seeks to label and define us. To her, you are pure and perfect and whole and fully deserving of all your love. You exist and you are her child, and she will guide you now and embrace you with her loving heart energy. Your own heart will open and respond in return, and judgments will fall away, to be replaced with compassion, understanding, and the true belief in your own words. That's so beautiful. So, like, the Divine Mother is looking out for you while you're on your journey to your own motherhood. That's so beautiful. And there's a little quote at the bottom. You are worthy of this compassionate mother love. Let her heal all mother wounds and show you how precious you are. So if you're having any like worries or anything, just know that the Divine Mother is looking out for you as you become a mother. Oh, that gave me chills like all throughout my whole body. Oh, little Pisces Ostara baby. You can really get lost in this artwork too. Oh, so cool. You were meant to be here today and get this card. Wow, wow, wow. Cool, so cool. So, just a few more things before I'm gonna light some sage. I totally forgot to light sage before we started. Have you gotten any prenatal massages? Probably not with the pandemic going on, right? I'm a massage therapist, so I always think about mothers and how they don't take care of themselves. Usually, when you're pregnant, people are really good about getting massages, but then once the baby comes, it's like they disappear and I never see them again. But it's so unfortunate. I only took one prenatal client this year because she was like my best friend's wife, and we were just really careful about wearing masks and stuff. So she was able to get a few massages, but I felt like it was too risky to see any other prenatal clients. So I'm sure like a lot of people are feeling like that, and it's so unfortunate because it's mothers need to be mothered too, you know. So I hope you're taking lots of salt baths and hopefully someone's mothering you a little bit. And if not, know that the Divine Mother is. Yeah. I know it's crazy. It's really hard being a caregiver and not being able to care for people like you want to. Um, Man, I just feel like this has been the like most perfect end to my day. I'm so glad to have met you, Amber. A few other things that I wanted to share with everyone if they have their planner, other than please give me feedback about the trackers. I was just going to give everybody a sneak peek of working on 2 new layouts for this is a horizontal layout, whereas the current vertical. So I just wanted to let everybody know that if you're not a vertical planner like I am, that the horizontal planner is coming. So these are like the test prints. I actually kind of like the horizontal design better than the vertical one. So I'm still going to tweak the vertical one again, but who knows? Maybe I'll be a convert to the horizontal planning. I mostly had to do the horizontal one for my mother because my mother prefers horizontal and she didn't want my planner because it was vertical. So this is for the moms, the moms in the world, or at least my mom. And if you're in the planner group and you haven't already, print your wheel, color it if you want. Don't forget about the full moon Leo spread. Has a coloring page on it too. So Leo moon's all about like being crafty and creative. And even if you don't have the planner, tonight is the perfect time to color, because at least you don't really have to do anything. You can have someone rub your feet for you while you're coloring. Where is the page? There's a Leo. Oh yeah, mine's. I haven't started coloring yet, but there's a line to color. But also fill in with your encouragement, like the things that make you feel confident and the like things about yourself that you like. So like Leo is all about creativity, but it's also about confidence and strength. It's the strength card in the tarot deck. And if you have a Leo Mars like I do, it's about roaring and yelling and screaming. So you can use the Leo full moon to do some roaring and screaming. And but the purpose is to just kind of highlight the traits that give you confidence about yourself and remind yourself of them. Highlight them, like when the moon is full. It's all about illumination and highlighting. And the Just a Phase planner uses keywords for all of the zodiac signs and all of the moon phases. So the keyword for full moon is illuminate, and the keyword for Leo is encouragement. So using the energy of the Leo full moon of being encouraging towards yourself, but also to everybody else and that you know in your life, like lifting people up and pointing out good qualities in your friends and your family and your pregnant wife or your pregnant girlfriend, and making people know that they can shine their light. And because we're really hard on ourselves, and we're really sometimes you forget. So it's like a nice little reminder to highlight your good traits. And then also always on the full moon is expressing gratitude. So on the new moon, we're planning and we're asking and setting intentions. But on the full moon, we're saying, thank you for everything I have. Thank you for the roof over my head, the food in my belly. Thank you for the health in my family. Thank you for this beautiful Pisces baby that's coming. I really can't wait to hear if your baby's born on the spring equinox. That is going to be awesome. So I'm just going to pick one more card for anybody who might be watching later, and just for the full moon in general. I usually do pick a card readings on the new moon and the full moon, but I think they take a lot of time and energy. And now that I'm back working again, it's just kind of been a lot with dealing with clients and everything that clients have been going to. So I'm going to switch to doing the pick a card readings on the new moon and then live videos on the full moon, which kind of makes sense because the new moon is about going within, meditating, resting, relaxing, and that having a card reading is more of like a internal journaling kind of thing. And then on the full moon, I'll do these live videos that's social and interactive, and hopefully if I can keep my fire and my air under control and ground it a little bit and keep a schedule, that's what my goal is. Yes, definitely let me know. All right, so this is for anyone who is watching now or will be watching later for the Leo full moon. End of January 2021. I can't believe we're through the whole first month of this year. And then February is a short month, so it's going to go by like nothing. And you're at the end of your pregnancy, and that's going to go by like nothing. Oh, interesting. Okay, this is the Light Priestess, and it says Galactic Wisdom and Cosmic Ritual. And I love, love, love when you get the card that is on the cover. So this is kind of really interesting for me personally. Hopefully it resonates with anyone who's watching later. But I actually so this is the Light Priestess. I actually am in the process of making a High Priestess altar right now. So that's super spot on for me. I was going to use the Leo moon to decorate and be creative this evening. So that's super cool for me. So maybe I just picked this card for me. It is a beautiful card. Oh, this is one of those ones that you have to like meditate on. All right. Before you is a temple, a gateway to the realms of light, and it is broken. It is being restored, rebuilt with every moment that you give to your own restoration and well-being. As you do this, likewise, this temple will be restored by the Light Priestess, she who weaves the rays and brings us back to us and our origins. All you need to do is focus on the light within and without you. Spend time within the light, the sunlight pouring through your own energetic gateways, the moonlight, healing, cleansing, resembling every cell. The Light Priestess will ensure you receive the light that will reignite the cosmic fires within you and restore all that seems broken and in disrepair. Observe the subtle light all around you, the play with the light on the water, the reflections of the windows, the prisms, lanterns, rays. So anything that reminds you of light, like that's to draw your attention. Like right now I see in the screen the candlelight behind me, and obviously I'm having light issues today. So that's a really cool, why have I never thought of it? Or to anytime you see light and are reminded of light, to internalize it and remember, oh, like instead of going towards the darkness or the negativity, to go towards the positive and go towards the light every time you see light and are reminded of it. This is always also a really good card for right now because, like I said earlier this week, the Cancer moon was like kind of heavy, and just everything going on in the world is really heavy right now. And that's one thing that I've been trying to remind myself is like, go towards the light, just keep going towards the light. We're not going to get bogged down and depressed and hide under the covers, because this is like a really big shift in consciousness right now. And we need to like keep our vibrations high. I've been playing solfeggio frequencies on all the speakers in my house. I just say, Amazon lady, play solfeggio frequencies everywhere, and it like lifts the energy. It totally shifts. Even with like my cats and stuff, I totally notice a difference of everybody's mood. And my husband hates his job, so like when he comes home, I'm like you need to be smudged. I'm like, I make him stand out and hold his hands out, and I smudge multiple times a day. And I will probably light this again to close us out. So just remember, and I think like it's not necessarily about being love and light all the time. It's about recognizing when you're getting into that negative space and getting into that negative zone and reminding yourself, oh yeah, wait, just being aware of it. Like, let's go back. Let's go back to the light. Let's go back. Um, but don't ignore the darkness. You still have to like acknowledge it, and that's why those heavy moons, like Scorpio moons, they bring up that shadow and bring up that darkness and bring it into the light so that it can be healed and aired out. So yeah, this is a really great card for right now because it's so easy with everything going on in the world is to just like let it drag you down. I've had so many moments like that. I can't even imagine what it would be like to be pregnant right now. Know that the Divine Mother is loving and protecting you and taking care of you. My friend that was pregnant, she basically didn't leave the house for her entire pregnancy. She got pregnant in she had just found out she was pregnant when the pandemic hit, and yeah, so she basically, she would come over to my house to get a massage. That's like all she would, all she would go out and do. So more power to you, more love to you, and know that the light is looking out for you, and so is the Divine Mother. And I hope you have a happy full moon, and good luck with the rest of your pregnancy and your magical spring equinox baby. And if you're interested, like and subscribe, and we'll keep in touch because I want to hear about this magical baby. And the Just a Phase planner is on sale right now. I'll put links in the description after the video to my shop. If you're interested, it's like only like even with shipping, it's only $20 right now. So like have at it. And the next one will be out. I'm hoping April, May at the latest. And I'm still waiting on wax orders, but I just restocked candles and yeah, anyways, stay happy, stay healthy. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.